Welcome to the jet-lagged marketing elite like yourself. Coming up on today's awesome show, Polymarket had a 90% chance of getting sued, and now it's paying. Influencer marketing increases its influence, and we've lost another one. The Ferrari marketing boss quits. All that, plus Airbnb is wanting us to meet, and IShowSpeed. That's all you get. If you work in marketing or advertising, give us 10 minutes of your hard-earned time, and we'll turn it into hard-earned cha-ching. Let's go. Welcome to the big show. So happy to have you here. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Matthew Newell, and this guy.
I'm Chris Stone, and this is the show where you get snack-size marketing info with all killer and no filler. Matthew, are you ready to eat?
Here's everything you need to know about an industry that should be halfway to its $1 trillion spend goal this year. Oh! And today's lead headline: consumer advocates have sued Polymarket. No one saw this coming. Allegedly over deceptive influencer marketing and social media advertising. The lawsuit claims that paid influencers promoted the platform without clearly disclosing they were sponsored. Again, no one saw that coming. Reports also allege fake, quote, winning bet videos were used to make Polymarket appear more successful than it was. Polymarket says it's reviewing its marketing practices as regulatory scrutiny continues, Chris.
One thing you could definitely bet on is a prediction market that couldn't predict it would get sued. Seriously, though, just a heads up. So if you are a creator in all of this, you're an influencer, you're hired by companies, paid by companies, you yourself could be found liable if you're not following FTC guidelines and disclosing things like being paid or even just receiving a gifted item in return for any content that you are providing a brand. This could get messy. So just make sure you protect yourself. Go to FTC, and they have all kinds of guidelines for what you should say if you are ever in some sort of a relationship with a brand like this.
Such a good call. And I'm surprised this didn't come up in our show with Dr. Heiler, because the legal side of it is very interesting. I used to always wonder on the more traditional betting side, like app betting, is this like sports book, whatever the betting apps are. What's the real big one?
DraftKings.
Thank you, DraftKings. I used to wonder if it was illegal for them to show fake wins as well. This is proving, because this is proving that you can't show fake wins. Next up in our marketing queue, more than 1 in 4 Americans now discover new product through influencers, rising to 41% among Gen Z, according to a new report out from YouGov. For Gen Z, influencers are a bigger product discovery channel than TV and radio advertising. Mr. Beast, of course, earned the highest positive rating among influencers registered, followed by Marie Kondo. And brands are investing heavily in creative partnerships. Brands that invest heavily in creative partnerships are seeing higher purchase consideration among Gen Z consumers who discover products through influencers. The influencer influence keeps rolling, Chris.
Yeah. 1 in every 3 or 4 Americans discover products through influencers. Then the other 3 that found out about it from those 4. So it's really just a pyramid scheme, sort of like with better lighting.
And if 1 out of 4 buys things from influencers, then that leaves 3 out of 4. And the person who bought it says, they tell the other people, this was a fake company, I got scammed. So yeah, it works out.
I like that math better.
Yeah. Exactly. Our final headline, Chris, we could turn this show into just the long obituary for CEOs that have fallen. I'm sorry, CMOs that have fallen this year. We've lost another one. Ferrari's longtime CMO, Enrico Galliera, is leaving from the company after 16 years. The departure comes just weeks after the rocky debut of Ferrari's first fully electric supercar, the Loose. Ferrari says Galleria's exit was a planned career move, and did not link it to the EV launch. The $640,000 Loose drew a lot of online criticism, including, this is what made me laugh, from the legit Italian government.
Wow.
Like, it's not often the government is like, hey, listen, we really need to put out a statement on this POS product that someone's putting out. Chris, what do you think?
Do you think he got to take one of those home? Like when he was let go? Yeah, planned career move. Planned, presumably the exact second the stock dropped 8%. That's when we start planning a career move. All right, so Matthew, it's time. Let's roll the credit. Let's pop the balloons. Let's pop the fireworks. Hopefully, hang on to all your digits. It's time for Real, Recognize Real. And Matthew, with all the hoopla and advertising around the World Cup, this one stood out because it doesn't really feel like an ad at all. Airbnb dropped an ad for the World Cup called "The World is Meant to Meet." And here's the pitch. Pitch, do you get it? Stay with me. Good stuff happens when people who shouldn't be in the same room end up in the same room. Salsa, churros, punk rock, tempura. Somebody's grandmother crossed an ocean, met somebody else's grandmother, and boom, dinner got awesome. Then Airbnb goes, cool, 48 nations are about to land in the same tournament. What do we invent next? That's the whole ad. That's it. And notice what they didn't do. No book now guy grinning at a lockbox. No drone shot showing a pool in someone's backyard that nobody swims in. They sold the couch by never mentioning the couch.
Yep.
They let you do the math. World meets, world needs a place to sleep. Oh, that's the whole reason Airbnb exists. Meanwhile, they're quietly waving $750 at new hosts to catch the stampede.
Oh.
Yeah, warm and fuzzy on the front, cold cash on the back. That's not an accident. That's a company that knows the difference between a feeling and a funnel. So the Real, Recognize Real, Airbnb made an ad that doesn't feel like an ad, but more about connection that happens to print money. It's so good, it makes me mad, but ultimately I respect it. So both things can be true. Next time somebody tells you that the sell has to be loud, show them some churros. Matthew?
That is absolutely terrific. I think it's one of the hardest things to do in marketing. I know it's the old cliche, don't sell the steak, sell the sizzle. It's just so the steak is right there, and you got to dig deep to sell the sizzle. You got to be creative, and this is terrific. And I also love that, ultimately it's the feel goods. It's the mullet. It's the feel goods in the front, but then you got $750 dangling out there. So it works for everyone. Well, Chris, I'm going to stick with the World Cup thing, but I'm going to do a little bit of lore before we get there. There's an influencer. His name is IShowSpeed. A lot of people just call him Speed. And my daughter, this was probably 4 or 5 years ago, was like, Dad, you got to see this guy Speed. He's a gamer. And there was something about how one time, like, he was going so crazy gaming that he accidentally burned his house down and almost died. I don't know if that's part of the lore, but he legit started as just this gamer who was full of energy. And now he's so big that he turned into a soccer fan, or American soccer fan. And overnight, he's hanging out with Messi and the other ones. But he does these stunts, and he is not a formal gymnast or anything. He jumps over cars. He does just all of this wild stuff. So all that just to bring us up to speed on Expedia. They switched their name to Expedia and all of the advertising is based around IShowSpeed driving. And I'm not kidding you, as Chris shows you some of this footage. First of all, the guy's got a smile the size of size of a World Cup stadium.
Likable. Yeah,
very likable and so much enthusiasm. I remember when I was young and I had energy. This brother is taking it in. Just such a great. So first of all, just speed unto himself is a force to be reckoned with. But the way that he's aligning himself with some of these brands, he must be saying no a lot because he's got millions of followers. He doesn't do stuff like this a lot, but when he does it, it's really, really well thought through. So don't know if I should be tipping my hat to Speed or if Speed's got just like maybe he's managed by CAA these days. I have no idea, but real recognize real. IShowSpeed, absolutely.
I love how Expedia just they saw that as a way. Boy, that has to be a huge paycheck for IShowSpeed. And if I remember correctly, it was maybe 3 or 4 years ago he did a stunt where he lit off fireworks in his house, and he had like they called the fire department, and I mean nothing really burned, like stuff like that, and so. He's made quote unquote mistakes along the way, but yeah, he's gaining popularity. I'm a big Detroit Lions fan. He showed up in a suite with Jared Goff, our quarterback. And
I love that.
The Detroit Lions did a thing on it, and I was like, "Who is this guy?" And it's IShowSpeed. Obviously we're showing our boomerism here and our age because we didn't know who this kid was, but. Very cool that Expedia saw that as an opportunity to jump on for sure.
And it's saying something that, a teenager can show an influencer like this to, their parent, and both of them are like, all right, that's pretty cool. That shows some breadth. That doesn't happen very much anymore.
Yeah. Good stuff.
All right, Chris, we are here for wrong answers only. We've already had a little bit of playful fun with the former CEO of Ferrari. Let's say for wrong answers only, let's say that the one thing that was left on his desk when he chose to walk away from the job, the last thing that he was supposed to do was name the next model of Ferrari. You and I get to do that. Wrong answers only. I want to go with something like just calling it like, first of all, the bar is pretty low when you go with loose. I know they were trying to go with something cool. I see where so I'm just going to go with something a little more memorable. The Ferrari banana.
Oh yeah. Who doesn't love a good banana? You just slip right into traffic. We
were talking about churros earlier. They'll be like, is this the banana of Ferraris? And you're like, yes, this is the banana of Ferraris.
Oh, this is the banana of Ferraris. I love how you slipped that in there like that. Now, you would have to, I mean, I've seen yellow Ferraris, right? Can you order a banana in a color other than yellow? Green. There's green bananas.
No, here's the trick. You buy it and it's green. And slowly over.
Yes. As the car matures, it turns yellow.
Exactly.
How in the world is that going to happen? We don't know. Technology, we don't know. Get on that.
I mean, actually, I did see this was this was last year. I did see they were working on a technology that does change the color of your car. So some madman is working on that right now.
That's outstanding. I can't outdo that. I'm just going to say, for me, it's Peppy. The Ferrari Peppy is the new vehicle. Why? I just think like people would go, do you mean Peppy? Like it's got pep in its step? Like, oh, that's a Peppy car. Or it's also a name,
Yes.
Peppy or Pepe, right?
Pepe, right. Yes, for yeah.
To me, it just kind of sticks in my head, Peppy.
Peppy, exactly. And then when people say, how's your new Ferrari drive? You're like, it's Peppy.
Oh, I see you've got a Peppy. See?
It works.
I guess.
It works. Ferrari. You got two slam dunk ideas here.
I think mine's maybe like a 17-foot jumper. Yours was a slam dunk. I think, mine's going to take a little work. You got me on that one. Yours was a better wrong answer than mine. But folks, that's it for this week's Marketing Machines and Mischief. And before you go, invest in your career and go down there for free and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. And while you're down there in the comments, let us know your wrong answer about the next Ferrari model and what you would name it. And we always appreciate all the folks who comment on all of the videos and listen with your earballs on audio podcasts, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all of the other players. But before we go, we have a
little lesson learned. We are going to keep seeing this, but human creation is always going to be better than AI.
Aw.
That's the click the like.